Hello friends and traders, this is Punam. Welcome to my channel FinMarket View, your guide to smart market moves. Please look at the disclaimer. This is not a financial advice. All right, let's dive into the charts. We'll review weekend edition broad market review. We'll start with our big brother S&P 500. If you see the last couple of days, we have a sell-off in the market close to 5% from all the way 6150 to low 58.51, and then Friday we have retreat about 100 points back to 59.54. So last week we talked about this level 58.50 is a good support area to price to be held. So the price has been held, and then we have 100 points nice up down uptick into the market. The next closest buy area is on 57.50 and 56.75. So this is a critical area in S&P 500, 57.50. If this area breaches, I would say temporary buy for bull market. So for that we review our monthly chart S&P 500. So this is the monthly chart S&P 500. So this is the last correction on S&P 500. If you take the same thing back to here from all the way top to 6160, that level is pointing to 48.75. So a long way to go. So assuming if this is the top, then we expect at some point the price will sell off to at least 48.70. That's an expectation. But for now, as long as these levels hold, we're still in a bull market, 57.50, 5800 on S&P 500 cash index. We'll move on to S&P futures. Similar setup in S&P futures. This came to the support demand zone area 5900 and close to reaching to this minor resistance 5980. So we may expect the price pull down to this area 57.54 maybe next week, but we'll watch and no. We'll move on to SPY ETF. Similar to S&P cash index and futures, it came to this support zone 585. This area we talked about last week. It's a critical area. So we have a nice 10-point run up to the 50 SMA market. And the levels on SPY is 565, 575, the major buy area support demand. If this 565 critical level breaches, we may go to bear market. This will go all the way to the 480 on a monthly chart. That's where the price is closely related to the S&P 500 cash index. We'll move on to not in Nasdaq. Nasdaq have a similar picture. A 5% sell-off last 5 days and came to this support area. Price has been held, and we have to watch out next week if the price gonna push back to this 20,000 critical area on Nasdaq cash index. So definitely 20,000 is critical area on Nasdaq. If this price breaches 20,000, then Nasdaq will go all the way to 15 to 17,000 range at some point. Nasdaq futures, same setup. We have a 5% sell-off. Then we have a minor resistance formed right now in 21,200-ish area. Next week, price may push higher a little bit, and then we eventually come back to 20,000 level. That's expectation because of the 20,000 is a major buy area support demand comes into the picture. We'll move on to QQQ ETF. ETF came to this support area 500-ish, and we have about 10 points up running. So the major levels in QQQ ETF is 487 and 475. 475 is a critical level. If this breaches, same thing, bear market. This way go all the way to 400. That 400 is basically a monthly support. The next areas comes into the picture. We can see on TQQ, similar setup. We have a A sell-off came to this support area 72, but the major support on TQQ is 69 and 65, which I'm looking. Next, move on to Dow Jones. Dow Jones is a little bit stronger than S&P Nasdaq and came to this support area 43,000. Price has been held. We may push price higher to 44 before push back down to 42. So 42,500 is a strong support area in Dow Jones. Definitely watch these areas. So major support areas. Similar setup in Dow Jones Futures, E-mini Dow Jones Futures. It came to this support area 43,500. Price has been a little bit breached, but still we have a Friday gap up. Strong positive hold on 43,842. Watch for the major support areas on Dow Jones Futures 42,200, 41,790. We'll move on to Diamond DIA ETF. ETF, same thing. It came to the support level 430. Price has been held at 438 close today. We may push this price back to 440 before it's turned back to 421 at some point in future. But 421, 415 is a major support area on Diamond. We'll move on to Russell. Russell is the very weak in the market. We have a big sell-off, same thing. Closed at 2163 on today, Friday, but it also broke this major lows. So definitely the next major support area on Russell is 2093, 2059 watch areas. Same thing on Russell Futures. We have a sell-off close to this demand area 2106, 2058. Definitely will watch out this minor resistance. Price may push higher and then push back down to 2120 at some point next week. Look at the IWM ETF. Same setup, sell off on whole week, and then this resistance form 224, 228. And then the buy areas, major support is 208, 205 for buying opportunities. We'll move on to VIX, volatility S&P 500 cash index. VIX has been spiked up last couple of days, but there is still a room to up to all the way 28. So we have to see how the market plays next week. If it goes down, then S&P gaps up. If it goes up, then S&P gaps down. That's expectation on VIX. We'll move on to gold. Gold futures, last couple of days we have a 4 days of sell-off, but the major area of demand support is 2740, 2667, which is closely aligning with our weekly areas because it's a massive uptrend on both weekly and monthly time frame. So this is a pullback opportunity on gold 2740 at some point. We'll move on to crude oil. Crude oil, it's right now still in the demand zone area, is still struggling to go higher, but this requires dollar help to go down. But right now this is still a demand area 70 and 68. You know, sometimes slowly price slowly will grow. And the near-term resistance is 77.79 on crude oil. We'll move on to NUGT ETF. This resistance held and pushed down, and if the gold futures a little bit go down, then we expect the NUGT price comes to at least 38, 34, 36, 23. Move on to USO. Right now, this week 73.43 demand zone touchdown support area, and then the price has been held. So this have a room to go up to all the way 82 on USO. We'll go to the dollar index, DXY. This is a critical area. Price has been held. Last couple of days now we are going up. So we were bullish on dollar index. So eventually we can move this goes to all the way 110-ish. The last chart is Bitcoin. Similar to our equity indexes, Bitcoin is also, we have a major sell-off from all the way to here in last couple of days. You name it tariff, you name it any news, but we have this sell-off. So the major areas on Bitcoin 77,950, 70,965. These have the room to go all the way to 108 at some point in the future. And same chart, Bitcoin cash index. We have this major buy areas on Bitcoin watch area 76,000 and 70,000, still a buying entries for the long-term investing opportunities. Because right now everyone's saying Bitcoin is bullish, close to all the way $1 million, whatever the sake. But for now, if you wanna make a long-term investing, look for the 76,000. Let's come back to these areas, make entries on these areas, push back to all the way to 100,000 at some point in the future. These are the equity market overall broad market overview weekend edition. Thank you. Thank you all to share my thoughts on the markets. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a market update video. Stay happy, stay fit, stay healthy, and have a safe trading and investing.